I had a breakthrough yesterday evening. I had a session over the phone with Janet, and I got some really deep insight that I want to share with you. So it has to do with I've been telling you in previous videos that I felt like I was being oppressed by a number of people in the kind of exactly the same way, the same patterns I was seeing. They were all, I was getting it all from women of authority in different aspects of my life. And they were using the authority to oppress me. They were all preventing me from voicing my grievance. So they were all like dominant over me in some way. And then I knew all the way along that I am the source of this. I'm drawing this in. My own soul is projecting this to me to communicate, get across something to me about myself. And so that I knew not to go after them, not to blame them, but to seek the answer inside me, why I'm creating this in my life. And I knew also it has something to do with the way my own mother has been treating me my whole life. And but I didn't know till last evening what exactly. I got a much more clearer understanding what it was last evening. And I have the recording. I will probably put parts of it on a video and post it so you can hear for yourself. So when a kid oftentimes needs attention and isn't getting it, ends up acting up, misbehaving in order to get attention, right? You see it all the time. That's the reason most kids act up a lot of times, right? To get attention. You know it, I know it, right? And then the attention they get is what? It's not always positive, right? A kid misbehaves. Maybe you got a frustrated mother who's tired of it, and can't handle it, has other pressures, starts scolding the kid, maybe giving it bad treatment, yelling at it, scolding it, lecturing it, saying bad things to it. Now the kid is looking for attention, and that's what it's getting. What it's getting is bad, but it's better than no attention. And maybe the kid gets used to it, and maybe the kid starts enjoying it. You see, the kid starts to feel abuse as some form of love. You see. And then how about when that kid grows up? It's in the soul, it's embedded in the soul, and the soul projects this reality that's around us, and the soul starts creating situations where people are abusive to that kid that has not grown up as an adult. You see. And but there's also a second reason I found out. and this is a very common one I see. People look for punishment when they feel guilty. A lot of people feel guilty, some more than others. And and maybe you don't know why you feel guilty. You feel you haven't done anything. But when you understand you've had countless lifetimes before this one that you may not be aware of, and you also realize you've been victim countless times to many atrocities, and you've been perpetrator countless times, you see. And also something I want to say, when someone, let's say man rapes a woman, okay? The tendency is to think, well, the perpetrator, the man, is bad, the woman is a victim. That's true also, but you have to realize the woman, the soul of the woman, had a contact with the soul of the man who raped her. This is controversial. Some people might not like it. The two souls had a contact for that event to take place. Okay, and nothing ever happens to you unless your soul agrees to it. You watch a movie, no matter what you see on that movie screen, it won't be there unless the director intended it to be there and had it written in the script of the movie for it to happen. Everything that happens in a movie is scripted. It's intentional. And the director, which is your own soul, is putting it there for the purpose of you getting it, for you to understand it. And so this is the example I'm giving you. It's right here. I had these women of authority be oppressive to me, and I know why I was doing it. This is to myself, and I'm explaining it to you now, so you understand. So this is the reason. The second reason I was doing it was I had perhaps done atrocities in previous lives that I felt guilty about, and then when you feel guilty, guilt looks for punishment. I think it was Freud who said that, maybe Jung, one or the other. I mean, it's the most obvious thing. You look at people who have a lot of pain in their lives. Maybe they have arthritis or something, the physical condition, they have a lot of pain. Most often it's because they're punishing you. They feel like they need to be punished to atone for their sins. It's the most common thing. Particularly in religion, in Christianity, people feel like they need to be punished for their sins, as they call it, right? And lots of other religions. It's just a common thing to believe, whether you're religious or not, that you get punished for things you do wrong. And then the Hare Krishnas, I was involved with the Hare Krishnas. They didn't call it sin; they called it karma. They felt like what makes us suffer is the wrong things that we've done, the karma that we have in all of our previous lifetimes. And the way you work off your karma is you serve Krishna, you serve people, you feed people, or any way you can serve. And then they always said the best way to serve is to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And so they had everybody, they were just drilling that in every time it was there. And every meeting they would have, they would just keep drilling that and just keep chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Perhaps because by chanting it, they would become more devoted to the group, which was, I think, their agenda. And then the same thing with Christianity, you see. If when you're feeling guilty, you're going to the church to get atonement. I was in that prayer group, a men's prayer group. They tell you about at the church, and then the guys would come there feeling guilty about the sexual behavior, and so and they would come to get atoned and confess and get atoned. So this is the thing. You feel guilty, and you create in your life situations that hurt you, or you have physical. I don't have anything physically, knock on wood. But I was having people oppressing me, and perhaps it was because part of the reason was because I felt bad about things I had done in previous life, and I wanted punishment to feel better about myself, and I realized I don't need to do that, and so now that I know this, I know what the source of this is in myself, in my past lives, it's in my soul. I am now going through my morning walk, amalgamating and neutralizing. I'm better able to address it, neutralize the source of my sorrow at its very source. That I was always talking about the leaves on the tree, the trunk, the roots. I'm getting at the roots of this pain that I was having. So I just realized it's a very important point that I need to make, because of that this example so clearly demonstrates. You see, these women in my life that were oppressing me. So now that it was my own soul had this contract with the souls to have them do this to me. You see, to convey to me this, what I got, what I just expressed to you, that they're doing it to me for this purpose, because I wanted attention that was abusive, because I didn't get attention when I was a kid, and I provoked abusive attention. I got used to it, and I started enjoying it, and then that I wanted attention for things I had done in past lives, perhaps in this life. I wanted a punishment, and then so when I got this, and I'm able to work on myself and get at the root cause of all this, then I'm able to work it out. And that's the point, you see, is that I'm not going to the woman to work this out. Since my own soul is the source of this, is creating these contracts with these women to have this happen to me, then my real work is with my own soul, which I'm demonstrating to you that I'm the way I'm doing it with these techniques, you see. And then when you realize that your soul is projecting the reality around you, and it can create anything it wants, and it's based upon what's going on inside of it, what it is, and then then you realize that you want the best circumstances you have. Then your goal would be to have to work on your soul, to have it become the pure and perfect soul. You see, because then you would have anything you want be your circumstances, whatever your conscious mind, because you're not getting what you want right now, what your conscious mind wants, because that's not what your soul wants. Your soul has issues it has to work out. Once you work out those issues, then it'll create for you what you really want in your life. You see?